It's the end of the week, which means the end of this week's memory challenge. So hopefully you had a lot of fun learning about logical fallacies. Maybe you'll use these logical fallacies in a friendly debate or argument. Because it's really funny when the people don't catch it and it completely goes over their head and your argument sounds absolutely amazing just because the people don't know about logical fallacies. Now with all memory challenges, I like to recall information to show you that memory techniques can be applied to absolutely anything. So someone was kind enough to actually make me statements that had logical fallacies in them. So what's going to happen is I'm going to see the statement and I'm going to say what the logical fallacy is. Now hopefully when I hit enter, what I say lines up to what we see. But the only thing that might happen is that the names might not line up, and that's because some fallacies have multiple names for it. But besides that, everything should go smoothly. Let's see how I do. So let's start. Okay, the parking attendant who gave me a ticket is as bad as Hitler. So that's just like a stretch right away, right? That's not even like comparable. So this is a weak analogy, but I think it's also called a moral equivalent. And so let's see if I'm right. Moral equivalence. So I learned it as a weak analogy, but I think the other name it told me was a moral equivalence. Okay, Greenpeace's strategies aren't effective because they are all dirty, lazy hippies. So right away, it doesn't make sense because it's criticizing the person. It's not even talking about the strategies and why they're wrong. It's just saying that they're ineffective because of these people, because these people have these characteristics. So this is going to be a ad hominem. Ad hominem? I drank bottled water and now I'm sick, so the water must have made me sick. So right when you read this, it may make sense, but there's other things that play a role, right? Maybe you're next to sick people. Maybe you were outside. There's all these different things that could have made you sick. So just because you drank the water doesn't instantly mean that caused your sickness. So this is going to be a I think it's post hoc ergo propter hoc. So there we go. This is Latin, so forgive me if I mispronounce some of these things. If we ban Hummers because they are bad for the environment, eventually the government will ban all our cars, so we should not ban Hummers. So this doesn't make sense because just because we ban one car doesn't mean the government's going to ban every single car. It's kind of saying like there's a snowball effect, right? You do this one car, then the government's like, hey, how about that car, and that car, and that car? Hey, nobody's going to ever get anywhere because we have no cars on the road, so the roads are useless. So this is going to be a slippery slope. Slippery slope. Filthy and polluting coal should be banned. Now this is more subtle in how it's a logical fallacy. So it's just saying, filthy and polluting coal should be banned. It's not really supporting why it should be banned, but it's implying, I guess, the validation of it. So this is going to be begging the claim. So what's happening is, they could have said, no, coal is causing pollution in the earth and all these different things. That's why it should be banned. But just by saying filthy and polluting coal should be banned, they're kind of tying those two things together by just saying those two descriptive words. So some of these logical fallacies are very technical on how they're a fallacy. And so you really have to think about, okay, why is this a fallacy? What doesn't make sense? What is it trying to, I guess, like, deceive us of? And so this one was probably one of the harder ones. Okay? If you were a true American, you would support the rights of people to choose whatever vehicle they want. Now, this is kind of playing on emotion, right? If you're a true American, patriotism. And so it's trying to get you, tug at your emotional heart, your emotional strings, your emotional heart, your emotional strings. So this is going to be a ad populum. I think that's how you say it. Ad populum. The Volkswagen Beetle is an evil car because it was originally designed by Hitler's army. So, to me, right away, this doesn't make sense because cars can't be evil. No, they're just cars, right? But just because someone who's evil made something doesn't make that object evil automatically. So this is the genetic fallacy, right? Because it's trying to say, okay, genetic fallacy, because it's trying to say it inherited the traits of whoever created it. Okay, even though it's only the first day, I could tell this is going to be a boring course. So, no, that might seem correct when you first read it, but when you think about, hey, how do you know the whole course is going to be boring based off one day? So this is a hasty generalization. It's when you make a claim based on only one piece of information. So let's see if I'm right. Boom. There we go. Okay. Okay, people who don't support the proposed state minimum wage increase hate the poor. So when you read this, it makes a lot of sense right away, right? If you don't support wage increase, then you might you might hate the poor. But what's happening here is it's making the argument for the people who don't want the wage increase really weak. So this is a straw man fallacy. And because maybe people have other reasons why they don't want to have a wage increase. Maybe it makes all the prices increase and all the commodities that we buy, right? So let's see if I'm right. Straw man? Straw man, yes. Okay, we can either stop using cars or destroy the earth. So this doesn't make sense because it's only giving you two choices. There's other things, right? You could ride bikes, you could carpool, or I guess no, cars. You could use public transportation. And so I think this is called a false dichotomy, but I think it's also called either or fallacy as well. So let's see if I'm right. Either or. I like false dichotomy. I like how that sounds. Okay, George Bush is a good communicator because he speaks effectively. So it's funny. So this is circular reasoning. That's how I learned it. Circular reasoning. And so you're pretty much saying the same claim again. So your point that proves the claim is exactly the claim. George Bush is a good communicator because he speaks effectively. Those are the exact same thing. Good communicator and speaks effectively are the exact same thing. It doesn't make sense. So I think it's circular reasoning. Circular argument, same thing. Okay? This is the last one. The level of mercury in seafood may be unsafe, but what will fishers do to support their families? Okay, so what happens here is you're talking about mercury in the first part, but the second part you're talking about fishers and their families. So this is a red herring because you're getting off topic of what the main issue is, which I believe is the level of mercury. So red herring, boom, there we go. And yeah, that was all. So, I absolutely love logical fallacies. So I always find it really fun when I'm given statements that have logical fallacies in it because I have to be able to reason my way. Okay, why is this incorrect? What's wrong with it? I really like arguing and debating in the first place. So logical fallacies are right up my alley. And when I talk with my friends and stuff, I bring up logical fallacies all the time because I think it makes it more fun for me to actually just talk about argument or making the argument. It's a lot more fun for me. I'm like, hey, this, that, oh, you do that, you're like the worst person ever. And so for me, I just find a lot of fun in it using logical fallacies, and hopefully you will too. So there you go. That was this week's memory challenge. Look forward for tomorrow for a brand new memory challenge. Subscribe to my channel for more videos on memory techniques, how to do better in school, memory challenges, updates, and much more. Also remember to click the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are down below in the description. You also can check out these videos. If you want to learn all the memory techniques and learn how to apply them to all sorts of information, or if you want to start competing in memory competitions, you can check out my programs down below in the description. Look forward to my next video and get ready to get the best memory of your life.